South Carolina is planning a comeback and starting to open up restaurants on Monday and allowing people to go where they want.
Yes, starting on Monday, the state's work or home order will be lifted. And if you missed it, we're going to catch you up right now. This means outside dining at restaurants will be allowed. You can also order takeout. Governor McMaster also removing the 2-week self-quarantine order for people who might have been coming from hot spots like New York and New Jersey. He says decisions about other businesses, eat-in restaurants, concerts, theaters, hair salons, and others will come in, quote, due course. The governor also wants to declare Sunday as a day of prayer in South Carolina.
Now, in 1 week, North Carolina's stay-at-home order is set to expire, and if the cases continue as they have, then North Carolina likely will follow South Carolina's lead and start to reopen.
Yeah, so people want to know what that means. It probably not means what you're envisioning, though. Remember, we will start with phase 1 in North Carolina. That means you'll be able to travel for reasons that are not essential. Yes, that means that shopping at places like clothing stores, sporting goods stores, and bookstores will take place, but you will still have to practice social distancing inside those stores. You'll be encouraged to wear a mask, and employers will be encouraged to continue remote working. Check out that crowd earlier today. Not everyone is willing to wait, not even a few more days. They want to go to work right now, worried about their bills, their livelihoods, and their families. Channel 9's Mark Becker is joining us live tonight. Mark, we've seen the protests in Raleigh, but now this one today was held in Uptown Charlotte.
Yeah, Erica, a lot of urgency, a lot of maybe impatience on the part of people here. They've certainly seen what's going on at the state capitol in Raleigh, but organizers here wanted to let the governor and others know that there are plenty of people right here in Charlotte and Mecklenburg County who feel it's time for the county and the state to reopen.
All right, baby, you want to roll down just a little bit?
Jeanette Wilson loaded up her minivan with 5 kids and a single message that it's time to get back to work.
I have family members that are affected by this. My sister has a small clothing store in Concord, and it's at risk of being shut down permanently.
Cynthia Roth is a swim coach who's temporarily lost her job.
I'm here because we are in the midst of being on the brink of an economic collapse, and that is not healthy for anyone.
Thank you for coming out here to support the Reopen Mac movement.
There was plenty of patriotism and politics on display, but the organizer of this protest said this demonstration was not political.
We have Democrats, unaffiliated, and Republicans all coming together here, coalescing and uniting over this issue that businesses across the county need to reopen.
Soon enough, the talk was all drowned out by the raucous motorcade that rolled through the heart of Uptown Charlotte.
Open up and see.
Dozens of others shouted their support from the sidewalk. Police were here, but largely in the background, and the whole protest went off without any trouble, but not without some quiet disagreement. Craig Allen was one of those with questions.
I mean, I want the city to open up, but at the same time, our health is more important, ain't it? So, I mean, it's just crazy.
It all lasted a couple of hours here, and as you can see, back to normal now, Erica, normal as we know it today. And one of the protesters told me, look, we know that it's only a week until the state says they're going to reopen. We don't really expect that to accelerate, but we just want the governor and others to know that we have voices here, and they wanted to be heard. Erica?
Yes, they are passionate, passion on both sides of the issue, all sides. Thank you, Mark. We also saw some protests yesterday in Hickory. Business owners there protesting the stay-at-home order. They talked about the problems that they've had getting any of the money from the federal government's business loan program. Of course, tensions are even higher because this is the 1st of May. That means rent and mortgage payments are coming due today. Another stressor on top of this already stressful time.
It's to the point now where we eat or we don't eat, pay bills or eat, and we have to eat.
Wow. Coming up ahead tonight at 6 o'clock, One mother is shining a light on the financial challenges that real families are up against. And Action 9 is explaining your options if you simply can't afford to pay.
All these challenges were top of mind today when the Mecklenburg County manager laid out a budget proposal.
Our national and local economists agree that this health crisis has evolved into a financial crisis.
Our government reporter Joe Bruno was listening in on that virtual board meeting today, and he breaks down now the changes they're making as far as money goes because of COVID-19.
COVID-19 is presenting a lot of budget challenges for county leaders this season, but the county manager is laying out a budget that doesn't include a tax increase or any county layoffs. The $1.9 billion budget doesn't eliminate any services and no projects will be frozen. The county will have to dip into reserves, though, to help offset the anticipated loss of revenue due to COVID-19. Schools, the health department, and affordable housing are on the top of people's minds because of coronavirus. CMS is getting an extra $25.6 million. That's down from the $37 million that was requested, and as a result, some staff members will not get as high of raises that the school leaders wanted. One of the departments that is faring the best in this budget is the health department. They are slated for $86 million in funding. The county is also going to contribute to affordable housing once again, $1 million for Habitat for Humanity and $3 million for rental subsidies. DiOrio says the county is fortunate that it learned from the Great Recession of 2008. Unlike then, the county doesn't have to eliminate positions or put a halt on priorities.
Mecklenburg County government is resilient, and because of the Board of County Commissioners' commitment to the fiscal discipline strategy, we are in a strong position to manage what lies ahead.
One group that did not fare so well in this budget is the Arts and Science Council. They asked for $5 million, but are only getting $900,000. That's even less than they got last year in the budget. Back to you.
All right, Joe, thank you for breaking all of that down, those numbers. Meantime, we know that students will not be going back to their classrooms for this academic school year, but parents still have a lot of questions about this, including how graduations are going to be handled. Education reporter Elsa Gillis was able to ask the CMS superintendent some questions for the first time since learning that classes would remain closed.
We had about an hour today to hear from and ask questions of top CMS officials. And I have to tell you, we could have spoken all day. There's just so much to talk about right now. But what's clear, all decisions are being made with safety top of mind and giving everyone, students, parents, staff, a little grace during this tough time.
What will next school year look like? That is the $64,000 question.
Today, CMS Superintendent Ernest Winston said they don't have concrete answers at this point, but they're working toward solutions.
We will more than likely be social distancing. We'll have to potentially consider students going to schools in shifts.
With an eye on what's next, there's still much focus on this school year and seniors who deserve a celebratory graduation.
CMS has not canceled graduations yet, but we do believe that it's important for us to come up with options if that were to happen.
A task force has been formed with students included, and all seniors should be getting a survey to provide input.
We had a lot of phenomenal options that have come forward as looking at doing homerooms in high schools, all the way to football fields, to Panther stadiums, to complete virtual.
But safety and state guidelines will guide what can happen. And what about grades? That's another big issue right now.
The intent with the guidance that the state approved last week was to do no harm to students. We're giving students every opportunity to excel and to bring their grades up.
Whether students are getting a grade or not, teachers are keeping track of student contact and progress. And high schoolers, you still have about a month to decide whether you want to choose pass, withdrawal, or a numeric grade. Back to you.
Some local malls are getting ready to open back up after sitting empty for weeks now. Simon owns several malls in the area, including Concord Mills and South Park, and say they're opening up next week. Our Damani Lewis explains, though, it's not quite as simple as just unlocking the doors and turning on the lights.
With Simon Mall announcing they are opening up their properties as early as next week, the big question is, will individual stores located in those malls and surrounding areas do the same? Channel 9 reached out to some of the larger tenants at South Park Mall, including Macy's. They tell us their Charlotte stores could be open in the next 6 weeks, although Macy's is opening 2 stores in South Carolina on Monday. If what we've seen in South Carolina is any indication, some stores inside the malls will choose not to open. Governor Henry McMaster has given stores there the ability to reopen. However, Channel 9 has shown you there's still apprehension from shoppers and even stores to open their doors. This Ross was closed and the entrance blocked with shopping carts. Some jewelry stores were open, but with shorter hours. And with shoppers' confidence shaky, some consumer experts are now questioning if the landscape for shopping has significantly shifted from brick and mortar to mostly online moving forward, something that only time will be able to answer. I reached out to North Lake Mall and Carolina Mall, and they tell us their non-essential stores remain closed, but they are closely monitoring CDC and state guidelines for when they can reopen. Back to you.
Thanks, Damani. In just the past hour, North Carolina released a new list of nursing homes and other group homes that have COVID-19 outbreaks, and that showed 2 more cases. 2 or more cases indicates an outbreak, rather. Mecklenburg County has the most outbreaks at 12. Cabarrus County has 6 outbreaks, while Rowan has 4 outbreaks and Union County has 3. Rowan County's newest outbreak is at the Laurels of Salisbury, with 2 staff members and 1 resident who are sick. 3 other nursing homes have outbreaks in the county, including the Citadel. There are more than 145 cases and 17 deaths there. And at the Salisbury Veterans Home, there have been at least 9 cases and 4 deaths.
Of course, all those cases at nursing homes contribute to the statewide totals in North and South Carolina. There are close to now 11,000 cases in North Carolina, and that, of course, is a big number. But the state has done 133,800 or so tests. So again, just a small percentage of people getting tested coming back positive. In South Carolina, now over 6,200 positive cases. 256 people have been killed by the virus. Well, more than 1 million people infected have now recovered around the world. 1 million people. The map here from Johns Hopkins shows how widespread the virus is, as you see those red areas indicating hot spots. Globally, there are more than 3.2 million cases, including 1 million in the U.S.